Shari's manager, Dawn Michelle, posted on her Instagram stories this evening a screenshot of Lisa Bloom, the civil rights attorney who specializes in high-profile cases, her being in Dawn Michelle's contacts. I'm guessing that this is the latest move in response to Tisha being on Carlos King's Messy Monday show, where Tisha did acknowledge the revenge P, pretty much saying that it was definitely a thing that did occur. So this is a very significant step, very serious one. We'll have to see if they do reach out to Lisa Bloom, if it's something that we would even be made aware of at this point. And I'm glad that Melody definitely has a strong support system.
It felt like the moment everything finally snapped. Like a quiet storm that had been building for years suddenly decided it was done waiting. And at the center of it all was Melody Shari, a woman who had already endured heartbreak, public humiliation, and a very messy divorce. But this time, something was different. This wasn't the same Melody fans had seen before, trying to hold things together while everything around her crumbled. No. This time, she came prepared, and when the name Lisa Bloom entered the conversation, people stopped scrolling and started paying attention. Because when you bring in someone like Lisa Bloom, you're not just making noise, you're making a statement. And suddenly, the question on everyone's mind became louder than ever. Is this the final chapter for Martell Holt? Or is this just the beginning of a battle that could expose everything?
It got to a point where I hadn't felt the spiritual release yet from God for me to move forward. And there were times when I would cry and I would be like, God, how much longer? Like, how much more of this am I supposed to take? Like, when can I walk away? Because I'm a firm believer that you don't move, and that's with anything, relationship, friendship, business, whatever. You don't move until God says move. Hence my God Said Go merchandise line that I ended up creating. But when God says go, there are no second thoughts. There are no what ifs. There aren't any regrets. And for me, that release happened after I had my daughter, Milani. Now, you couldn't have told me that when I was pregnant with her that we weren't moving in the right direction and that things were going to be amazing, because I thought that they were. But after I had her, I still remember them putting us in our room, and I got in the shower and I just started crying, and I felt the feeling of it is finished.
What nobody expected was just how deep this situation would go, because this isn't just about a breakup anymore. This is about power. This is about revenge. And this might be the moment everything changes forever. To really understand why this moment feels so heavy, you have to go back to the beginning, back to when Melody and Martell first stepped into the spotlight on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Back then, they looked like the kind of couple people rooted for without even thinking twice. They had the business, the family, the chemistry, everything that made them seem like a real-life success story. They weren't just husband and wife, they were partners in every sense of the word.
Can you be real with someone when they don't want to hear the real anyway?
Building businesses together, raising their children, chasing dreams side by side. And for a while, it worked. Or at least it looked like it did. But behind the smiles, behind the perfectly timed social media posts, there were cracks, small at first, almost invisible, the kind of cracks you ignore because you want to believe everything is still okay. Until they weren't. Rumors of infidelities started swirling, and at first, it felt like just another reality TV drama. But then it became clear this wasn't just for the cameras. This was real, painfully real. Melody tried to hold on, not just for herself, but for her children, for the life they had built together, for the image they had created together. Because walking away doesn't just mean leaving a person, it means leaving behind a version of your life you thought would last forever.
Martell has a matching BMW with somebody and is not his wife.
But betrayal has a way of changing everything. And when the truth about Martell's long-term affair came out, it didn't just break their marriage, it shattered the trust that held everything together. The divorce that followed wasn't quiet. it wasn't clean. It was emotional, public, and at times, downright brutal. Accusations flew from both sides. Pain turned into anger, and what used to be love slowly transformed into something unrecognizable.
Anything else you'd like to talk
Yes,
about?
your husband has made these false statements about Marcel.
How do you know they're false?
Because I know they're false.
How do you know they're false?
Are they real?
That's neither here
Okay,
nor there
so
for
let
me to say.
Okay.
But even after the papers were signed, even after they officially went their separate ways, the story didn't end. If anything, that's when things really started to spiral. Because what nobody expected was that the tension between them wouldn't fade. It would evolve into something darker. At first, it showed up in subtle ways. Social media posts that felt a little too pointed, interviews where certain comments didn't quite sit right, moments where it felt like both of them were still fighting, just in a different way. But then, things escalated. Allegations began to surface, claims that crossed a line most people never imagined crossing. And suddenly, the situation wasn't just messy, it was serious. Because according to multiple reports and whispers within their circle, Martell wasn't just holding on to the past, he was allegedly using it. Private moments, personal memories, things that should have stayed between two people who once loved each other were now being talked about in ways that made people uncomfortable. And that's when everything shifted. Because Melody, who had spent so long trying to rebuild her life, found herself pulled back into a storm she thought she had already survived. But here's the twist. This time, she didn't try to handle it quietly. This time, she fought back. And bringing in Lisa Bloom wasn't just a reaction, it was strategy. Lisa Bloom isn't the kind of lawyer you call for small problems. She's known for taking on powerful figures, for standing beside women who have been wronged, for turning personal pain into legal accountability. So when Melody made that move, it sent a message that couldn't be ignored. This wasn't just about defending her name anymore. This was about drawing a line. And suddenly, Martell's silence became louder than anything he could have said. Because while Melody was stepping forward, building her case and aligning herself with someone known for high-profile legal battles, Martell seemed to step back. His posts became cryptic, his words carefully chosen, and for the first time, people started to wonder. Was he preparing for a fight? Or was he realizing just how serious this had become? But the drama didn't stop there. Because once this situation hit the public, it didn't just stay between Melody and Martell, it spread fast. Friends, cast members, people who had once stood on the sidelines suddenly found themselves being pulled into the conversation. And with that came questions, uncomfortable ones. Who knew what? Who stayed silent, and why? Some voices hinted that this behavior wasn't new, that whispers had been circulating long before the story exploded online. And if that's true, it changes everything. Because now it's not just about one person's actions, it's about a whole circle of people who may have seen something and said nothing. That kind of silence, it hits differently. Fans began digging, analyzing old clips, revisiting past interviews, looking for signs they might have missed. And the deeper they looked, the more complicated the story became. Because in situations like this, the truth is rarely simple. There are layers, emotions, motives that don't always make sense on the surface. And right in the middle of it all is Melody, trying to protect her peace while also standing her ground. What makes this moment so powerful isn't just the legal aspect of it, it's the emotional shift, the way Melody has transformed from someone reacting to pain into someone taking control of the narrative. She's no longer just responding to what's happening, she's setting the tone. And that's what makes this so uncomfortable for some people,
Because power shifts aren't easy to watch, especially when they expose things others would rather keep hidden. Meanwhile, Martell's reputation hangs in the balance. For years, he's been seen as complicated, flawed, yes, but still redeemable in the eyes of some fans. But situations like this, they test that perception. Because there's a difference between making mistakes and crossing lines that can't be ignored. And if the allegations being discussed turn into something proven in a legal setting, the consequences could go far beyond social media backlash. We're talking about real impact, career damage, financial consequences, a complete shift in how he's viewed, not just as a public figure, but as a person. And yet, the biggest question still hasn't been answered. What evidence exists?
Because if Lisa Bloom is involved, you can almost guarantee this isn't based on rumors alone. That's what makes people nervous. That's what keeps fans watching every update, every post, every hint of what might come next. Because when the truth finally comes out, it could change everything. Emotionally, this situation is heavy in ways that go beyond headlines. For Melody, this isn't just about clearing her name, it's about healing in a space where healing isn't easy. Imagine trying to move forward with your life while pieces of your past are being pulled back into the spotlight, twisted, questioned, and discussed by people who don't really know you. That kind of pressure, it weighs on you. She's a mother, a businesswoman, a public figure, and somehow she has to carry all of that while dealing with something so deeply personal. And yet, through it all, she's remained composed. That doesn't mean she isn't hurting. It just means she's choosing how to respond. And that choice, that's where her strength shows. For her children, this situation adds another layer, because no matter how strong you are, you can't completely shield your family from something this public. And that's what makes it even more emotional. This isn't just about two people anymore. It's about the ripple effect, the relationships, the trust, the sense of stability. Everything gets touched by something like this. And for Martell, whether he shows it or not, this moment matters, because this could define how he's remembered moving forward, not just for what happened in the past, but for how he handles what's happening now. Because in moments like this, people aren't just watching what you say, they're watching what you do. And sometimes, silence says more than words ever could. As everything continues to unfold, one thing is clear. This isn't just another chapter in a reality TV storyline. This feels different, bigger, more serious. Because when legal action enters the picture, the rules change. The drama stops being entertainment and starts becoming real life in a way that can't be edited or controlled. And that's why people are paying attention. Because they know something is coming, something that could finally answer all the questions, or raise even more. In the end, this story isn't just about Melody and Martell. It's about what happens when love turns into conflict, when trust is broken in ways that can't be undone, and when someone decides they're no longer willing to stay silent. Melody's move with Lisa Bloom isn't just bold, it's calculated, it's intentional, and it might just be the moment that changes everything. So now we wait, because if this truly goes where people think it's going, we're not just watching the end of a relationship story, we're watching the possible end of a reputation, and maybe the beginning of something no one saw coming.